Prof, thank you very much for meeting with us for this interview. So we have today Professor Collins Fosu from the Geomatic Engineering Department, and we are here to interview him concerning a very huge and significant donation he made to the college in his department, Geomatic Engineering. So, Prof, please, could you tell us something about yourself?
I'm Professor Collins Fosu, Associate Professor in the Department of Geomatic Engineering. I was employed here as far back as 1986.
Okay.
I spent quite a lot of time. I spent nearly over getting to 40 years teaching in the department as a lecturer.
Wow.
If I add my TA and demonstratorship times, that's over 40 years. 83. Yes. It goes back to 83, 81 even.
You were teaching assistant in 1983?
Yes, I was a demonstrator. I did my national service at the Kumasi City Council, KMA now.
Okay.
And I came back to do professional masters. And then I was a demonstrator there for adjustment, photogrammetry, and those type of courses.
Prof, if I may ask, the amount of money you gave was the equivalent is in dollars and then also in cedis.
Okay.
You could tell us.
Okay, I gave 50,000 as as a startup money for them. And the equipment is a base station, which is now a Leica base station, which is about $35,000.
$35,000. Wow, that's a huge amount of money. So, Prof, how did you come by this money? We're curious. That's that.
Oh, all my life on campus, I've been a consultant and a lecturer. So I do quite a lot of consultancy. And in this particular equipment, I bought equipment for ECG access mapping.
Okay.
Fortunately, we completed our work in October 2021. So I had 2 base stations, which I'm using one in my house. And then I decided that since the university, the department doesn't have any, you can use that to start a research station. So
it's basically for research.
Basically for research.
From undergrad and postgrad, they can all
both you can all use it. The undergrads, it will be a source of resource for them, because we do what we call kinematic GPS service, real-time kinematic, and you need a base station to link up to your rovers in the field. So if it is there, you can use a lot of rovers in the field, the students, their practicals, data collection.
Okay. So please, a little background. You are German trained and also UK trained.
Oh, I'm basically Ghanaian trained. As I did my first degree here, did part of my master's, but during the commotion on campus all this time, I left for Nigeria for some 2.5 years and came back. Then when I came back, straight he employed me as a lecturer.
Okay.
As far back as 86 February.
That was with a degree?
Yes, I had a first degree, but I finished with my profession. Only that because of the confusion.
Okay,
so then I was given the college scholarship to UCL, University College London, where I did my master's in engineering geodesy. Then I started my PhD there.
Okay.
Then I completed my PhD in Germany at a certain point in time, that is somewhere in 95. wasn't into 5 years. I came back actually because it was the work I was doing, and we thought you can just lift a CCD camera from the shelf and use it to capture star images. But it was not as simple as that. So the UCL, they were in some sort of fix. We couldn't get the money to buy the camera I needed, and they wanted to change my program. That is my topic. I was not interested in that. But fortunately, in the middle there, I got a professor who had a camera which cost about $100,000 for my work.
He was in Germany.
He was in Germany. So he invited me. He also needed
someone to man the camera.
Yes. A research fellow to man the camera and also be a demonstrator in their observatory.
Interesting. Giving two birds with a stone.
And then when I was growing, I was a good astronomer. Applied astronomy, you can put it that way.
So if I may ask, astronomy is a part of geomatic engineering?
Yes, it's not, it's part, we use it. Just like we use math for so many things. We use it. We use applied astronomy. Because in the olden days, they use astronomy for positions, to fix positions and directions, navigations. And navigation is part of geodesy.
Okay, so yours is geodesy under geodetic or geomatic engineering? Geodesy. Just geodesy?
Yeah, okay, it's geomatic engineering. Okay. It's a branch of
geomatic engineering.
You can put it that way.
Okay.
So that's how I went to Germany. The Professor Hein, he invited me for an interview, but I was introduced to him by another professor whom I met in Ivory Coast when I was young, some of these scientific conferences.
Okay.
And he took interest in me.
So you used to attend a lot of these scientific conferences?
In those days, UNESCO programs, it was mainly for young scientists in Africa. And it was a complete one-man school. It was very strenuous. So the man was very much interested because I was the best student. So he decided that. Then he was just wishing me Merry Christmas, just like. And then I told him I was in some sort of trouble. My program is not going. I said, how come? So he said I should give him 1 week. In a week's time, he rang me telling me that he knows a professor who was interested in my knowledge. So I went there, had an interview, about a 3-hour interview with the professor. He went through all what I've done. And interestingly, he said that if I were in Germany, I would have gotten a PhD already. So I should start, but I also decided that if I just jump from UK to Germany, just like you are on Ghana government scholarship, just like you are running away. So I decided, okay, then you should write to my registrar in Ghana. I'm coming back to Ghana. I didn't know he has written. Those days, St. Chimakesi was the Mampohini, was the registrar. So one day I met him and said, Collins, are you still in Ghana? I said, I haven't heard anything from you. And he said, I go and pack your things and go.
Just like that.
So not knowing that the letter has come to him.
Oh.
And I don't know whether he didn't work on it or whatever.
Interesting.
So that was June 1996. I went back to Germany.
Actually, Germany, was that the first time or you say you went back?
No, I went back. That is from Ghana to Germany instead of going to UK. But when I was, after my interview with him, I visited him.
Oh.
Okay, so I used to go to Germany.
Okay.
So that is how it all happened.
And that set the premise for your various consultancies.
And his school was a military university.
Okay.
So you only, if you are a civilian, you only do research there. They don't accept civilians to come and do for courses like the army people, first degree, second degree, that type. But if you are doing research, then you can
you're allowed.
And he got a camera because he wanted to leave, and that was what the people used to
Keep him there.
So, and he got a camera, he had an observatory, he wanted somebody to look at it. So he saw when I went there, I stayed there for about 2.5 years. I stayed in Germany. The only sad part of it is that Ghana government scholarship was not coming. However, he was paying me very well.
You were able to cover your fees and stipend.
He was paying me very well. So.
What made you come back to Ghana? You wanted to work here?
I said, why?
No, what made you? You know, a lot of people go outside school, but they don't come back.
Okay. First and foremost, now these space observations were starting. In Africa, we were not involved at all.
Okay.
So I decided, not that he was prepared to offer me job in the what we call the European Space Agency. Mm-hmm. But I told him that if I stay in Germany, my department will never know anything like GPS. So I prefer to come and introduce it here. And that is why I came.
No, thank you. That was really selfless on your part.
But when I came, it was better.
Better?
It was the knowledge I've acquired. In those days, we were using schedulize data stations. And work that can be done in 3 years, I could use the GPS to do it in 3 months.
Oh, that's a serious.
So I was getting a lot of jobs. People were, and so that was how I became seriously involved in consultancy.
So you started really young with the consultancy.
Oh yes, that one is. Even before I went out, I was doing it.
You're a consultant. Okay, thank you so much. That's interesting. Do you believe that KNUST, College of Engineering, has actually played a significant role in your life, with how far you have gotten in your career?
In a way, I'll say yes, because they gave me the scholarship. If the scholarship hasn't come those days, how do you go abroad and study? Mm-hmm. If your father is not rich. So I think the scholarship they gave me propelled me to further things. So at least in that, they've done well.
So just in relation to the conferences you were going for, were they in any way similar to internships, or you were also going for internships while you were?
I don't know whether they stopped, but I think they still do it. Normally, in our area, there's something they call it, things like Geo School, Geophysics, IUG, International Union of Geodesy and Geophysics. They organize seminars and conferences and things like gravity, how you apply gravity for engineering applications and all those type of things.
Were they during the vacations or?
No, normal school days. For instance, in our case, it was school time.
Oh, okay.
And we went to Yamoussoukro.
While school was in session?
Yes. And you finish and they give you a postgraduate scholar certificate.
Oh, so it was for postgraduates?
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. But do you think internships play a significant role in a student, a future engineer's life? And is there a need for students to take it serious?
Yeah. How can you be an engineer when you don't have internship? It is only in our system that people finish school. They don't have anybody supervising them. And all of a sudden, they become employed. And with that type of knowledge they have in their head, whether it's good or bad, you go to the top. But in most of the life, for instance, if you go to the continent Europe, they have what they call practicum. After your program, 6 months, you go and work in an industrial setup. And the people there write reports on you. So if you don't do well, you don't get your own certificate.
Just a follow up on that. Do you think it's actually realistic, looking at the numbers we get all the time and the number of companies and industries that are available? Is it realistic for you to really take this practicum aspect?
Well, I think we can. But the government, you see, in their case, the government gets involved in education a lot. If it is your program to do that, to train your people, then definitely you have to. I mean, USC had that plan, but the government didn't support it with money. That's why it never materialized. I happen to be the brother of the finance officer from as far back 1983 to 2010. So I knew the inside running of the investments, and I knew they wrote proposals to the government so that they can at least support them financially for them to work in some industries. If you say that if they can't absorb, then it means that why are we training all the number of students we are talking about?
That's true.
So if they want to do something, I think they can.
Thank you. Well, at this point, I think I would ask if you have any advice, because with your wealth of knowledge and over 40 years experience in teaching and consultancy, you must have something for.
Yeah, the point is that let me come to engineering. The point is that every lecturer here should do a little bit consultancy, so that he doesn't rot.
Okay.
You go and do the theory and you come. As my friends are. You don't go to the field. You don't know exactly how to. You are an engineer, so you should also go to the field and know how people are practicing the real. I say with the numbers.
Yes, please.
For instance, in our program that is very field oriented.
Mm-hmm.
You see some students, 40 in a group. Only a few, about 5 will be working and others will be chatting. You don't learn anything. And you realize that during when we examine them in their practical courses,
Their family wanted.
Yes. I think we should ensure that these people actually get some experience and show that at least they've learned something. Also, the level in my class we were only 8, with some special students coming to join to be 10 or maximum 12. And it's the same equipment, about the same equipment that you are using. How do you expect?
So the numbers here.
Yeah, so at least it is very, very important, because we are going to the field to do practical work, field work, capture data, and come and work on it, submit it where people will use for designs and others. So if these things are not done, you come out, your designs may look very nice, but based on wrong data.
Thank you so much, Prof. Please, what about alumni? Would you encourage them, just like you have made this significant contribution?
Anybody who comes around, I mean, not only alumni.
Industry.
If you are interested to help develop, after all, it is in the school that we train people who go out to run the system.
Yes.
So if we can contribute, anybody, not only
anybody. Thank you so much, Prof.
Alumni, the only problem is that you turn it into politics.
So Prof. Fosu says that everyone, all in the country, should please come and help, not just alumni. Thank you so much, Prof, for your time. We are so grateful. And like Oliver, will be expecting more.